Tedward here from Winding Road Magazine and Tedward Drives. Today, me and Chris Amos, the Topher, are out here at the Tire Rack test track having a little fun on a wet skid pad. But more importantly, we're talking to TJ about tire tech.
And we're gonna do a very in-depth video with TJ about tire technology and how to choose the right tire for you. But today, we're gonna focus on the test track.
I'm in heaven. Tire heaven.
But you can't come all the way to Tire Rack without seeing the merchandise. And once you walk through the doors of this warehouse, it's immediately apparent that these people love tires and they also love organization. And you can tell that their attention to detail in comparing tires on their website is mirrored by their operations crew. But it's more important that we use these tires, so let's go to the test track. I've seen this place on video so many times, but now we're out in South Bend, Indiana at the Tire Rack test track, and I'm gonna go out and do some test laps in their 330i, which are the test cars that they use for all their tires. So when you go out and you see the comparisons on their website, and they've got videos, these are the cars they're driving. TJ took us out in the 330i to help us learn the course before we were going to go out in Chris's BRZ. So once we were familiar with the course, Chris popped on the POV hat and set off.
Okay guys, we are going to take the BRZ out for some first laps on the new Dureza Z3s. Let's see how it does. I'm pretty comfortable with the track by now, and the BRZ is nice and warmed up. Tedward's next. Put the windows up for audio here. So this first lap, get the car warmed up a little bit, get some siding done. We'll get some good speed up here for the back, for the straight. Using all the track. This car feels fantastic right now. Got to be a little patient for this section. Get as much speed up here as possible on the skid pad. There's such a nice balance between oversteer and understeer in this car. These tires just maintain the progressive nature of how this car was stock, but man, they give the higher grip levels that you want and make it just much more controllable and faster at the limit, as well as just it retains the same amount of fun as it does when it's stock. And sometimes that's not the case. Sometimes you add more grip to a car and it feels like you've neutered it because that balance of power gets a little bit offset. Here though, with these Dureza Z3s, it's a lot like my previous experience with these tires. I've run them on my Miatas, Volvos, everything that I've pretty much driven in a performance setting in the past, and they've always performed so well and been so consistent. These do not disappoint.
Although there are options to turn off traction control on this with these buttons, or some buttons, it's not really off. So we have to do a pedal dance to make this happen. So Chris, how do I do this?
All right, so handbrake up, 1, 2, 3, hold, brake pedal, 1, 2, 3, hold, and then handbrake, 1, 2, 3, hold, brake pedal, 1, 2, 3, hold. You should see the traction control light come off.
Yes.
Chris, of course, wanted to take full advantage of the skid pad and find out if he could get his BRZ to drift in the dry on sticky tires. The answer is yes, it can drift. You basically just need wide open throttle at Redline to hold that drift, but when you come back in, you'll definitely see the results on the tires, so it was time for a change. The coolest trick up tire rack's sleeve are the sprinklers. They can wet down the whole track so they can test their tires in the wet properly. The car is surprisingly difficult to drift, maybe because of the tires, maybe because of the torque, maybe because of the wheelbase, but all I noticed was that I had to be basically wide open. I mean, I'm talking Redline with between like 90 and 100% throttle inputs just to keep the car sideways. So it was pretty wild, but the thing I noticed most about these Z3 Star Specs is that when they return to a 0-degree slip angle, man, if you lift and these things get grip again, it is aggressive. Big thank you to Tire Rack for giving us their test track for the entire day and having no qualms about us turning the sprinklers on for quite a long time. Don't worry, it's all well water. It's recycled well water. We asked. They are environmentally conscious. In our next video, we're going to be sitting down with TJ to start talking about what it is to buy tires for performance applications and why it matters. But for now, let's just bask in the glory of the wet track and the BRZ. Thank you so much for watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing. We'll see you in the next one, and don't worry, we're not moving away from the POVs. They're here to stay.